don't know what. That's a really well labelled one, isn't it? In some ways it'd be good, in other ways not so good. But look at that, it's like dust. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Don't mind me, I'm just taking my chain for a walk because I'm taking the dog, wherever she is, over there. We're going up to the Thule field, right at the top of the farm, because we're gonna go and do a little bit of fencing work. Barley, come on, up. There's a piece of that ground up there that has been fenced off for a game cover back when I ran the shoot, and we used to keep it there because as part of our mid-tier stewardship we had an overwintered bird feed cover in there. We now put that somewhere else and we can put that back to grass. So what we're going to do is going to take the fence up, we're going to move the fence, and then we are going to put it down to grass. I don't know if you can see out there, I've got the discs on the 6.6 for Dad because he's going to go and disc it up. I'm going to get the drill on as well, and we're going to go and drill that little bit of triangle, and then we're going to go and drill this bit of grass up here as well. So we've got a busy few days. Barney, why are you shaking? Anyway, let's get a move on. The dog is that used to sitting on this forklift with me. She just sits like that, like up the side, so that I can still get my arm on the joystick. She's done this ever since a puppy. She's dead good at it. She just knows where to sit. Oh, have a look at this as well. You see that there? That is a wheat crop. That is probably the best wheat crop I've ever grown. I don't know what I did right, but I wanted to show you it before I wrecked it this spring, because if I ruin it, and I haven't shown it yet, I can't claim that it was good, but it is good, look. It was after oats. I don't know what I did right, but I wish I could do it again. Right, so here's the fence we're going to take down. It goes up here and it goes around that corner. You can probably tell this was a good pheasant drive. There's a good hill here. There's a lot of grass on this actually as well. I was surprised and coming up. There's more grass down that bottom end than what there is up here, but it is a bit lighter up here than it is down there. We haven't put any fertiliser on this field for 5 years either, because it's part of the mid-tier stewardship. You can't put any fertiliser on this GS4. But there is some muck down there that's been composted to come onto this, so we're going to try that out. We've never done that before. Dad's beat me to it. He started doing the fence.
Yeah, get up in the morning.
So he says.
Unclip them all, and then you park the fork truck out the way. If I get the Polaris and take them, then take this first one round, and then come back and we want the next one, take the next one round.
Line them down that other edge?
Line them down that other edge and leave them passing on that end. Yeah, this will want, I won't want to put straight through posts in. Has to be enough wire, won't there? We kept 4 because of the cover crop, but these are all only got 3.
Oh yeah, so we can lose one, yeah, so we can use that.
Well, we can see how we go. We either leave all the posts in a heap and then pick them up another day. That might even be better.
What, leave them in a heap?
Put all the posts in a heap and then pick them up when we come with the trailer.
A cormorant. I see them very often. On their own as well. You want me to unhook them as I go along?
Unhook them all. You actually release them
one at a time, right. I don't know if you can see here, look, but there's some like badger muck. So obviously been using this as a latrine, and in that wood just there, there's a big old badger set in there. And to be fair, there's one in that wood down there as well. And it's one of the problems we're getting now on this farm is when I was a kid, you never saw a badger on here, ever. I hadn't seen a live badger until probably 5 or 6 years ago. And now you'll see them all the time. You'll see them even in the daylight sometimes, which is kind of becoming a little bit scary, especially considering the issues we had with TB last year. So yeah, something I have to watch out for. Another reason why having a decent electric fence is quite good around this farm, because it just helps keep them out, even though I don't know if really anything's going to keep them out properly, but at least this is going to try and help the situation a little bit. I was just about to show you the laziest dog in the world, because you'd think Barley would want to go for a good run round. She's got 40 acres here to go run round, and she was just sat there by the buggy until we started walking towards her, and now she's come here. And if you want some more proof, I just walked past the buggy to walk to the end, and the dog's got in because he didn't want to walk anymore. Look at it. Bloody lazy animal, isn't it? managed to get my dog back. She's now lay on my lap. We're gonna head back to the yard. We've got all them posts up. Dad's gonna come up here disking and disc all that ready to be drilled. I'm gonna go get the drill on and go and mix some of that seed up that I can find on the rafters and see what it looks like, because if we can mix up enough stuff, we can get that drilled down the bottom and we get this drilled up here as well. I think we're gonna get a bit of rain soon, so it'd be nice to get it in, get it rolled down. It'd be another job done that we don't have to worry about when we're carving. And we're back. Dad's just gone off disking. As you can see, the tractor's gone. I'm going to put the drill on the 125 now. Got to take this loader off, the weight block off, then go and get it out of the shed. And then we'll have to go and search for some seed. Could be interesting, see what we'll find. So let's have a look and see what we can find on the rafters then. I think I'm going to need a ladder or something. Starting to think that maybe putting the things up in the rafters to keep them out of the way of the mice is not the best idea. If you can't tell, looks like there's been a mouse up there. Probably should have bought a torch as well. I have to get my phone out. That's better. Invention on the phones. I bet everyone uses the torch on the phone. Silage maker, rescue mix, don't know what. That's a really well labelled one, isn't it? Tillage rape. These ones this end look a little bit more grassy. Maybe I need to throw them down and see what we've got. This is more like it. Look, we've got a HM14 hybrid power with clover, and we've got a HM17 intensive lay there. And I've got some home safe grass seeds just here as well. We'll chuck them in. I've got a sweat on now too. I might have to cast my coat and my hat and my leggings. It's practically summer today. So I've calibrated it all up at 14 kilos to the acre, because it's what all those bags reckon that they should be at. I've chucked in a little bit of some home saved Westerwold seed as well, just to get a bit of oomph in there. There's a herbal lay, there's a white clover lay, there's an intensive grass lay all chucked in there. So this is gonna be some interesting stuff down here. Got the drill all ready and set up, 1000 PTO in, combi drills out the shed, and I'm looking forward to getting this going. Oh, and guess what? Look at this. A radio! I've got a radio that works! From Colin Catley, he sorted it all out, and I fitted it myself, which I'm quite proud of. Managed to rewire my own house, but that kind of thing, it's not my forte. So I'm just going to check all these coulters are blowing as they should be. If you remember, later last year when I drilled a grass mixture, which is up on the hill over there, I took all the pipes off and I cable tied them on so that they just sort of splash onto the surface. They don't necessarily go in rows. That's why they're not going to be in like coulter rows, if you wondered what was going on there. I'm just going to go straight into this, because if you remember the other week I showed you this is the rye that's in the triangle that didn't come. So I've been through it with the claydon back in the autumn. It's had a good bit of weathering, but if you look at it, there's quite a good bit of tilth on the top there. I feel like I might as well just go straight in. Grass seed kind of likes it hard anyway, so then we can just roll it down, and hopefully by this time tomorrow it'll all be done. That's this one done. I tell you what, God, it's gone in well. I know that grass does real good things to the soil because it has a lot of fibrous roots, but this is absolutely incredible. This is a heavy field. If you plough this, you really struggle to get it down. It's quite seamy. But look at that, it's like dust. Obviously the weather's on our side as well, which is always useful. Now I've just got to go and do the bit up on the Tudor field, and Dad's going to come in here and flat roll this for us, but I don't think it could really go in any better than that. Just fingers crossed that we get a bit of rain and this greens up. Come back in a couple months' time and see what it looks like. have it, all nicely done and dusted. Made some good use of all that old seed as well, got rid of that out of the shed. This has gone in pretty well as well, to be honest. This up here is pretty light. On the top of this hill, it gets really light, and the rest of the ground, like on the neighbours there, going that way, it gets very light. As you drop off the hill down towards the wood and then go across, and especially that way as well, across most of our farm, it gets really heavy. And then weirdly, when you get the other side of Kirkby Manor, which is over there, you're on a sand and gravel quarry, which is just ridiculous. But we just happen to have a real heavy bit down in the bottom there. But like I say, this bit up here, this is nice and light. Dad's just gone flat rolling where we were earlier. He's going to come up here and do this afterwards. This is one of the best views from the farm, or especially from the home farm. On a really clear day, if you look that way, you can actually see Magna Park at Lutterworth, which is about 20 miles away. You can't see it today, but if the sun's on it, it shines up real easy. But yeah, it's nice up here. I do like it. When you haven't got a helicopter above you making a racket. And then if you look this way as well, that's Peckleton Church there. That's where I got married back in the summer. When you're at the church as well, you can see the farm, which is quite cool. This grass is growing well as well. Look at this here. So much clover. This is all red clover in the bottom of this. I'm going to get them cows around here and start the rotation on this ground as well pretty soon, once we've got that fence up there. So now we've removed this fence that we put up here, what we're going to do is we're going to put it up around the outside of this, and it's all been rolled in, and then we can actually graze that as part of the grazing block. Because we don't need to keep that stewardship option there now, we've actually got it somewhere else, so we can actually put this back into production, which is real handy. I keep thinking about as well putting some sort of trees or something down this middle fence. I can't work out whether I want to do it or not. Back in the summer when we were grazing this, the cows really could have done with some shade, but then my worry is that if they had some shade, they would spend all their time in the shade, and then you'd end up with this really heavily trampled, worn strip up the middle. In some ways it'd be good, in other ways not so good. At the minute I haven't made my mind up yet, might just have to leave it as it is for now. Right, I'll get back to the yard and take this off and go and do something else. Anyway, whatever you're up to this weekend, have a great one. See you in a bit. Ta-da!